the Menopause Dialogue. Hashtag you and me. Sharing, living, loving freely.
We are live. Hi, I'm Patrice.
And hi, I am Shay. Welcome to
Menopause, the Dialogue.
This is a year-long show where we stream live on YouTube about the menopausal journey of a woman from start to finish. And the goal for our whole show is really to empower you, to educate you, and give you the tools to help you take charge of this menopausal journey. And our hashtags are hashtag you and me and hashtag sisters share.
We stream live on the second and the fourth Monday of each month, and we begin sharply at 6 p.m. So we're inviting you to join us, and not only join us, but link arm with another sister and tell her that Menopause, the Dialogue is on. So many women need this information, and we are here to share this with you. We're sharing our journey together. And today, Shay, today we are addressing a cluster of questions that women have been asking us, from night sweats to hot flashes to solutions to how long are we supposed to go through this. And today we have a trusted fishbowl where we're going to be taking our questions from. But the first question we're going to look at and talk about is, what exactly are hot flashes? And if we were to take a survey, most women can tell you what they feel, but they don't know what hot flashes are.
Yes, the hot thing, that's all.
Yeah. Then we feel hot.
With emotions.
Yeah. But hot flashes in our brain, there's a gland called the hypothalamus. And the hypothalamus is responsible for regulating our hormones, our sex hormones, the estrogen, the progesterone, and the testosterone. And when these hormones fluctuate, these hormones work the hypothalamus. And then the hypothalamus, because it's working so much harder, it then tends to think that we're hot. And the hypothalamus also is responsible for the cooling down our temperature in our bodies. And so while the hypothalamus is busy trying to keep these hormones in order, it's thinking that we're having an emergency because we're hot. And so what the hypothalamus does, because it's responsible for cooling down, and cooling down in the body takes a while. But when the hypothalamus thinks that we're in an emergency mode, it opens the blood vessels, and blood just quickly flows through the vessels very quickly. And that's what is a hot flash.
Good, Trace, love it.
I know what my hot flash is all about.
Yes, that's important. And I like your analogy, because now I'm doing a little bit of mechanic stuff underneath my car, and now I understand how when my car goes hot, I immediately say, oh, that's the temperature gauge, that's the hypothalamus.
You understand.
And so I know all of that fighting going on that's happening.
Yes.
And then the body just says, wait a minute, I have to kick in, and then that's what we feel, that heat going on. That's what we call it, and the thing is, what's so funny about it is, we have all of these names, how we describe a hot flash, the thing that is hot, the stuff training down my face.
Or what you call it, change in life, or
personal
summer.
Personal summer.
That's it, yes.
We got words. I like that, Patrice.
Yes, and there's so much more about hot flashes.
Yes.
In fact, there are some statistics that we can talk about. In fact, Shay, some statistics on hot flashes.
Yeah, and let me tell you, these statistics are kind of scary, if you will. Okay, so let's look at the first statistics, right? Whoa.
That's Small.
That is very small. And, I'm in the back here, and I have it on the screen for you guys. But listen, I gotta be honest with y'all. Listen to me, my girl. Listen, it's so good to have a producer in the back because they're gonna actually make that a whole lot larger for me. And it's talking about hot flashes lasting. When we use the word flash, we always think about that quick 30 seconds. But a hot flash could last anywhere from 4 to 2 minutes. I'm glad you guys can see it over there. Because of my experience dealing with menopause, I can actually see and remember some of these things going on. But the hot flash can actually last anywhere from between 2 to 4 minutes. Statistics also indicate that in the early part of menopause, some 40% of women experience hot flashes. And during the late part of the transition to postmenopause, somewhere between 60 to 80% of women will experience a hot flash. Now get this, for 80% of these women, they actually have hot flashes daily. And 1/3 of these women can have anywhere up to 10 hot flashes a day.
Now that's
interesting. Here are some other statistics. That is really interesting because when you think 10 hot flashes, Patrice, oh my goodness.
A day.
Yes, a day. And doctors also indicate that hot flashes have an approximate span of about 5 years, or in some cases that can actually be much longer, Patrice. Some women often ask, when is it going to be over? There are statistics out there, but the fact of the matter is, just like a pregnancy, you can fit in that 1% where you can go a whole lot longer than 5 years. Also, there's one study found that 9% of these women experience hot flashes into their 70s.
Now that's not good news.
I know. I'm beginning to not giving me a hot flash. Oh my goodness. So listen, when you think about that, thank you so much to my faithful producer back there, just keeping it down, because I got to be honest with y'all. Child, listen to me, got glasses on, but hey, we got that up there.
Yeah. But at least she has glasses on and she could have seen. I couldn't see that. I was like, thank God she could
Thank God for memory.
You didn't need me.
At all. But this clearly shows you that statistics is really saying when it comes to this journey, it's a personal journey. Some of the symptoms for women can look alike and some of them can look so different, because I've often heard some women say they don't have hot flashes, and I've also heard some women say and believe, Patrice, because they don't have a hot flash, they think they're not going through menopause. Because if y'all have been following us, you would know that Patrice and I often talk about all of the symptoms of menopause and what they could look like. And the symptoms with our research is up to some 66 symptoms you can experience. So just putting it out there, not because you're not having a hot flash, ladies, meaning that you are not going through menopause. That is definitely a sign.
And you're very right, because a lot of persons, that's important to know. And also, one of the things about these hot flashes and the triggers with the hypothalamus is that when the hypothalamus is really under a lot of stress, not only do we have the hot flashes where the blood flushes through the veins quickly, but it can also stimulate sweat. We sweat as well.
That central nervous system.
Yes, and one of the another trigger for hot flashes is through the central nervous system. And there are some foods that actually trigger hot flashes. And Shay, as a nutritionist, can you tell us about some of these foods that trigger hot flashes?
First, let me just say, Patrice, I'm going to just say it. Coffee just happens to be, I know, if y'all watching us live, y'all don't X out. I know, because I had to go through it. Yes, caffeine, it stimulates the central nervous system, and it makes you excitable. Coffee was one of my go-to. Until I started watching and paying attention to the signs. I was doing the journaling and trying to figure out what is happening here. This was before I really diagnosed myself and realized, oh, wait a minute, Shay, this is perimenopause. And so coffee is one of those foods, the caffeine, foods that are high in caffeine. Even there's some tea that is high in caffeine as well, particularly black tea. If you're a coffee lover, you would find yourself merging over to black tea. it does have caffeine. And for some women, this will trigger hot flashes. Alcohol. Listen, I'm going to say it. You all know, your girl have, that's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
We're praying. Yeah, we're praying. Yeah, keep praying. Because outside of my birthday, I do have alcohol. Yeah, I don't have any in the house, but I do have it. But alcohol, again, is one of those things you want to minimize because it also triggers hot flashes. So the things like sodas, and definitely the high fructose corn syrup.
Some stuff.
What explains some stuff?
I'm not about to tell you anything.
Oh, okay.
I just remembered something.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Yeah, okay, I hear you. You're keeping that one on the down low.
You bet that
See
right.
how she go? Anyway. Anywho.
Just joking. Maybe not.
Along with sodas, the carbonated beverages,
yes.
Even sugar. Sugar is just one of those foods because sugar, when you look at refined sugar, it is food that is very inflaming to the body overall, and it's a food that will trigger hot flashes. So you want to stay away from food that has a lot of sugar. I find myself with heat coming to my body, particularly my back, and I can always tell when I have excess sugar, whether it's from a dilly or, I feel the difference though when I eat a whole fruit sugar versus refined sugar. And honestly, Patrice, today I have to limit my sugar because I feel it immediately. I feel the triggers coming on from having too much sugar. So you definitely want to look at any of those carbonated beverages, the sodas, the caffeine, the alcohol, and the high sugar foods. Those are foods you want to stay away from.
Yes, and also, as we're talking, I'm remembering, I eat organic chicken, and I was eating some chicken, and I noticed, and here's how and Shay talked about logging. Logging is so important so that we can understand our body. One of the things I like to tell my customers and clients is that you have one body. You are responsible for that one body God has given you. And one of the things when I'm talking to persons and I'm asking them about things about their body, they don't even know. You are responsible for your body, so you ought to know what is going on with your body, what stage your body is at, and you are not, and again, I say this respectfully, the doctor is not the only one you should depend on for information about your body. You are responsible. Your body talks to you. Pain is an indication. Then we have things going on and the body talks. So we learn to listen and we learn to log and we learn to follow what's going on with the body. And I remember I think I had done a 21-day cleanse with Shay. And I was fine. I remember that, all my hot flashes, I'm not having any hot flash. After the hot flash, after the 21-day, I still was eating whole foods, just raw. Then I introduced chicken. And this was supposed to be organic. This is what made me question it afterwards. I had a hot flash. I was like, why am I having a hot flash? Then I put it down, but then I tried it again. And I had a hot flash, and I did it again. And I recognized, oh my gosh, this chicken is triggering hormone, hot flashes. So it was interfering with my hormones. And women, we need to be able to make these ties. Sometimes with our foods, sometimes with activities, etc. In fact, Shay, are there any other triggers beside foods for hot flashes?
And you hit the nail on the head because sometimes people only think about food. There are other triggers when it comes. Even I'm looking at Patrice and I today. We just happen to both be wearing black and white and cotton. Believe it or not, ladies, the kind of fabric that you're wearing, whether it's synthetic or not, if it's a breathable material, that can actually trigger a hot flash because if the body doesn't have, is allowed to eliminate, it sends off a signal to the body that the heat is coming back in, emergency, and between them ovaries and hypothalamus, it's just fighting up in there, to regulate the temperature. And so when you look at the type of clothing you wear, you want to wear clothing that is breathable, because that will definitely trigger a hot flash as well.
Wow.
Yeah, believe it or not. And Patrice, our stress levels.
Yes.
Our stress levels. It can make a huge difference when it comes to triggering hot flashes. You know, you have to be able to.
Heart palpitations?
Yeah,
No, we're talking about hot flashes.
I know, that ring a bell for you, huh? You know.
Let me tell you something. The menopause is such a time that we need to be gentle with
Yeah.
our body.
Yes.
And I have had to learn to do that. And I don't mean to digress.
No,
but
no, we're not
just what you
digressing.
say. It is so true. Stress, because I know even with exercising, one of the things I love to work out hard. I love to sweat. I love to feel, you know, the adrenaline pumping. I push my body to the point where, you know, it just goes, and then, you know, I'm trying to catch my breath. But I have had to learn that I'm putting my body under duress and stress,
Yes.
even with a good thing called exercise.
Exactly, and I'm glad you said it too. Before I go to exercise, though, even tight clothing. If sometimes we could just, I watched this movie way back then when Eddie Murphy said, "Listen, girls, if you over 200 pounds, right, stay on the spandex, right?" But I would switch that up a little because Eddie Murphy, he was something else, But if you are going through menopause, you want to make your clothes as loose as possible, because if you find yourself being triggered and you're having more hot flashes every day than you would like, look at how tight your clothing is, and that includes what do we wear a lot? Stockings, pantyhose. It triggers. Plus, because it's a nylon material. Also, you mentioned exercise. Believe it or not, again, that's a trigger, especially if you are exercising in a climate that changes from hot to cold. If you are in a, believe it or not, air-conditioned room and the climate goes high and low, that can trigger a hot flash. Or if you're exercising vigorously in the heat, that can also trigger a hot flash. And I didn't mention this one, but spicy foods for some people.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm a pepper lover. It didn't do it for me, but for some women it does it for. The caffeine did it for me, but I can have pepper all day long and that doesn't trigger for me. But for some women, spicy foods, they had to. I know my mom. She had, and she's a pepper lover. She had to remove all pepper out of her diet at that particular time because it triggered her hot flashes.
Wow. What role does dehydration play in all of this as well?
A big
Or
role.
hydration?
Yeah, well, yeah, right. Yeah, because when we talk about all of these symptoms, Patrice, as a female, when your body is going through that decline in those hormonal changes, the estrogen and the progesterone, it is so important that you stay hydrated. Because I had a question from one of my clients this week, and we can talk about that. What was concerned about her skin.
Yes.
And she was talking about how she was the female that she normally hydrates, and she felt like she was hydrating very well.
Yes.
Yeah, and so
in fact,
hydration.
let me just go to the fishbowl.
Okay.
That's the question, and the question came, is this: can my skin become this dry even though I'm taking care of it during menopause? This is an actual question.
Yes, and the short answer for that is absolutely yes. Even particularly if these women that are taking care of their skin. Here's one. And there's two. These are women, and I'm going to be honest with you. I have made it a whole life goal of mine to take care of my skin. I have an auntie, hi Auntie Bobby, and my mommy. These two women in my life taught me to take care of my skin very early on. And while back then I wasn't using the very best products, today I am using better products. I remember having a massage from my therapist, and she said to me, "Shay, what is going on?" She says, "Your legs are super dry." Now, in my field as a professional, one of the things I did right away, I was like, hold on, I gotta check my liver, because your liver is responsible for the largest organ on the body, which is your skin. And so, listen, a homegirl just did some testing and stuff. I called up a few of my colleagues and did a liver profile. I wanted to check it out, make sure nothing was happening down there. And I'm all good. And then again, the bell went off. Shay? Yes, Shay. Menopause. And so when we think about hydration, we have to think of internal hydration as well as topical. And we have to do it it's like what I refer to as loading. You know when you're taking supplements? On your supplements, they have what they call the RDA, which is the recommended daily allowance. When you're going through menopause and your skin is dehydrated and you find dryness, you have to supersize. You know what they call it? Biggie size?
Yes.
Supersize.
Everything.
And biggie size everything when it comes to not just internal, but you're not only oiling, but you're also moisturizing. That is super important. There's a difference between a moisturizer and oil. Okay, so you have to make sure you're doing both, because yes, you can actually have dry skin when you're taking care of your skin. And so, to you guys.
Yeah, and I guess it's all because of the estrogen, but
Yes,
you know, the estrogen level going down, and then the testosterone trying to play crazy.
Those males,
and what I've come to understand, because like I told you the other day, I oiled.
I know you was grease monkey.
Yes, but yet I can take a bath with the right soap, oil down with all the right oil, and in a second I'm looking at how white
it just absorbs it all of a sudden.
And it's because at this point, because of our estrogen level, we are losing moisture and elasticity.
Yes, that keeps the moisture in. Yes,
that is another big thing with skincare, and again, collagen.
Yes, collagen. It's a part of the whole skin makeup. And let me say this to you, ladies: if you were to invest in anything during this time, and if you're vain like Patrice, notice I say Patrice. I didn't say me.
That's okay. That's okay.
Don't worry, she teach me everything I know, girl. Don't worry about a thing.
Okay, we'll talk afterwards.
I know, we'll talk afterwards. I know, ladies, we're always talking about investing in our clothing and investing in our shoes and even jewelry, but you have to invest in your skin, especially during this time, and especially if you're someone that, like Patrice and I, you're on a live show where people can see you constantly. If you are on TV, or if you're just a public figure that people are paying attention to you, you have to really invest in your skin. And that it may be a little costly, because the truth of the matter is, when you think about a lot of the products out there today that has parabens in it, that has sulfates in it, that has alcohol, that are stripping all of the moisture from your skin, these products are no longer good for you to use. And especially products that have sodium, all types of sodium. You don't want to use these products because it is going to strip your skin.
That's it.
So
and
you
the
want to
skin is already being stripped,
it's
dehydrated, and again, and it causes itching. Because I said to you the other day,
itching,
what's going on?
Yeah, the skin is saying moisture.
Yes, and it is so important, ladies. Again, invest in taking care of your skin, because it's during this time we begin to see the fine lines and the wrinkles. And again, this is a very crucial time, and the more you pay attention to moisturizing and oiling the skin, the better it is for you, because it is a difficult time going through dealing with and then like
you want to be pretty. You want your skin to at least look
you know? And then you know what, another thing, the skin tends to look dull.
Yes, it has the shine is gone because the lack of hydration.
And the layer of
the skin
is not it's not doing what it's supposed to do.
There you go.
And all of that. I know.
And you know what is funny, Patrice? When I was out to the market this weekend, one of my clients who saw me, right, who normally buys the multi-collagen from me, this is the first thing she said. She said, "Shay, how's my neck looking?" You know. and the thing is, right, that's another thing is, when we look at our skin, we have to pay attention to the neck. Ladies, pay attention to the neck.
Don't just take care of your face.
Yeah, that's circular motion.
Here's a little
confession.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Here's when I knew it was. I'm gonna do it on Shay and not on me.
But
go ahead. I remember what I would do, and this is how I knew something was going on my skin. When I brought the skin together like that, and
it crinkled.
Yeah.
Is mine crinkling?
Shall I lie or tell the truth?
Tell the truth, girl.
You got good skin, girl.
Hey, baby. Sea-wash gel and sea-wash serum. Hey, baby.
Yeah, it works. And
practicing what you preach. Patrice, and more than anyone else, you and I, because we're out there in the field and people are looking at us.
You have to be that example.
Yes, you have to be that example.
And it's not that you are not fighting the same fight.
If you fight
but
the
you
same
have
fight,
to fight that much harder. And
Yes.
Shay knows, because I come to Shay.
Yeah, we fall on one another. I show her my arms and she show me her face. We have these moments.
I have got
Did I say
this-
arms? No, what I meant was.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna be a good sister, not talk about her
No,
issues.
please! Oh my goodness! Because we can talk about our issue right after the show. That's just how we roll like that.
But there are so many things that is going on with us. And ladies, the journey always has something new every day.
Yeah.
Like I shared with Shay recently. Initially, I was just dealing with, my dry skin started with my face.
Right.
And I remember Shay pointed out, was pointing out something to me. And, I was like, okay, let me get back
Get on
in
this.
shape and let me get things together. And so I've been moisturizing, but I know it's been like my skin has been fighting back. And then all of a sudden, my entire body would be dry. Literally, in the middle of the day, the sun is shining, but you could see the white film like you just came out of the tub.
Right.
Mind you, earlier I would have bathed, I would have oiled my
That makes
skin.
us Bahamian because we say tub, not even shower.
But this is something new that I now am dealing with, and it gets difficult sometimes.
Yeah.
Like again, like one thing my face. I've never had pimples growing
I know,
up.
and you
I've
always
had
had
perfect
beauty.
skin
Yes,
growing
always.
up. At 50 something, I really am dealing with an influx of pimples.
Yes.
And that is hard. Honestly, it's hard to deal with, and some other things because of sleep I'm seeing.
Right.
And the journey for menopause is not just a physical one,
Oh,
but I'm going to
yes.
tell you honestly, it's a mental and emotional one
Yeah.
that you are constantly having to deal with as these different things happen to you.
Oh my goodness, Patrice,
But
thank
yeah.
you so much for sharing. So listen, if you are just joining us, you are joining Menopause the Dialogue. This is our year-long show where Patrice and I just give you the tools to help you to take charge of that journey. We are going to a commercial break and we will be right back. So stay tuned. We'll see you in a few minutes. More than 50% of mature adults living in the Bahamas and the Caribbean show visible signs of photoaging due to sun exposure. Nowadays, in addition to the sun, there are other factors that can contribute to old-looking skin, such as bad Bahamian average diet, constant stress, excessive alcohol consumption, not enough sleep, and yes, even smoking. If you truly want to look significantly younger and more attractive, one must take a holistic approach along with a daily skincare restorative routine. With that said, do you want amazing, super soft, tight-looking skin, revitalizing your uneven skin tone and dull complexion? Well, this already liked superfood now has a new look for inside and outside. It's Sea Moss Gel. So whether you're a mature woman or man, say hello to your skin's new best friend. Glowing Skin Sea Moss Gel Facial Mask. Available now.
Do you know what you are putting on your skin? 93% of wrinkle creams and body lotions contain dangerous ingredients. Some cause more damage than good. Many skincare ingredients can actually cause more wrinkles on your face and body. Look at your labels. Can't pronounce the ingredients? Join the club. More than 85 of the most common skincare ingredients in North America are either banned or on the blacklist in Europe. Ever wonder why some European brands are so much more expensive? Many of them use natural ingredients instead of cheap chemicals. Ingredients that feed your skin instead of aging your skin. There is one brand that has gained attention because it uses a centuries-old blend. A blend that has been used since the time of Cleopatra. A Mediterranean blend used to keep her face and body looking much younger and beautiful. The same time-tested blend is now available to you. It's called Pure Garden Serum. This 100% organic serum is a sophisticated blend of organic plants and gentle oils, like organic almond seed, organic sesame seed oil, organic calendula, and many other organic plants and essential oils designed to target the signs of aging, along with a highly concentrated blend of organic plant stem cells from widely studied, clinically proven arnica plant. When you have the right type of plant stem cells, they can help boost your skin cells to reduce the appearance of deep wrinkles, fine lines, age spots, and even skin discoloration on both the face and all over the body.
Chaga and Gano are medicinal mushrooms. They've been used in traditional Chinese and Japanese and Korean medicine for thousands of years. The Canadians and the Russians, they especially use the chaga in their medicine for cancer. Chaga and Gano are what scientists call adaptogenic herbs. Adaptogenic herbs are anything God has created that when you put it in your body, it does more than one thing. Whatever's too high in the body, pressure, cholesterol, sugar, your immune system is going to bring it down to where it needs to be. And whatever's too low is going to bring it up to where it needs to be. Chaga and Gano literally creates balance in the body. They clean and nourish the blood. They eliminate parasites out of the body. They help with vision, memory, and concentration issues. We have lots of people Chaga and Gano helps to sleep. If you have issues and you get up in the morning and you're always tired, Chaga and Gano will give you energy on a daily basis. If you're constipated, you'll get cleared up. If you have circulation issues, we've seen persons with respiratory issues healed. We've seen persons with tumors healed. Open wounds that have been open for months at a time, Chaga and Gano has closed. Chaga and Gano again creates balance in the body. It acts as a tonic for the organs, the liver, the kidney, the nervous system, the heart, keeps the walls of the arteries clean. Chaga and Gano is very much like a one-stop shop for the body. We've had persons with arthritis pain and inflammation tell me they don't have those pains anymore. They're walking when they couldn't walk, now they go for walks, all using the Chaga and the Gano.
From my kitchen to yours, welcome to the new taste of CMOS Gel. Create creamy milkshakes and superfood fortified weight loss green smoothies. 3 truly delicious flavors: Mint Majesty, Spice Fusion, and our summer flavor, Mango Splash. You're going to love the new taste of CMOS Gel. Available at Shea King's Eat Emotionally Well in Nassau, Freeport, Andros, and Exuma.
Your health is your wealth. Protect it. Ladies, your sanitary napkins should be 100% organic cotton, unscented and fragrance-free, unbleached and chlorine-free, free of pesticide residue, safe for you and the planet. If your sanitary napkins does not make the grade, it does not deserve to be where you place it. Make the switch.
Welcome back. We are so happy that you have joined us. And before we go into the next question, one of the things I realized we didn't talk about was what we use. And I really wanted to share this because Shay turned me on to this. This is called MENOCare. And Shay said to me, now I want you to use this and be faithful. First she was saying, take 2 in the morning, 2 in the evening, but I take 4 at one time. I'm like, I need to take 4 one time because
to be done with it.
Yes, to be done with it.
Yep.
But let me tell you something. This here, MENOCare, works because I was having about of the hot flashes.
Oh my goodness.
And it was so funny. I shared with Shay a funny story. My other half and I, we were out somewhere, and so now by this time it was 4 or 5 days I was taking the MENOCare. And so I started feeling hot. I said, Jesus, let me wake up. So I started turning on the air conditioner, turning it off. And I just went, no, that's not you. I'm talking about this thing Shay gave me. And you know how we like it to work instantly. And I was 4 days in. Yeah, like, what's going on here? And I was complaining. I said, geez, you're out and you all dressed up and you got a hot flash.
Man, that ain't pretty. I know, right? When you called me and said that to me, I thought it was so funny. I was like, 1, 2, 3, 4 days. It's like,
I need miracles.
But you want to stay consistent with the MENOCare because hot flashes is just like anything. Sometimes when I prescribe supplements for persons, they would say to me questions like, how long should I take it, Shay? Okay, so let me just say this, right? Menopause is a journey. And so
A long
journey. And as you continue to watch Menopause the Dialogue, you know this is a year-long show. And the reason for it being a year-long show is because we have so many topics that we want to cover, and we can't cover it in every area. But Patrice and I, the one thing we do is when we take supplements, we take it obviously for us to help us, but also additionally for us to be able to share with you what works for us. And so when you're taking Menocure, you want to continue taking it. I've been taking Menocure for about 4 years, but I can tell you the times when, let me tell you what has happened. The minute them hot flashes like minimize and you don't see one for a year, you be like, you forget your Menocure. Then they hit you, you run back and get it like instantly.
Listen, and I can tell you because after I found, here's what I found about 2 weeks, then it kicked in.
Right, okay.
And then, just like you said, I can be honest, the other night I was like,
be honest, girl.
oh, I didn't take it. And you know what? Because the hot flashes stopped. So I can tell you this worked. Initially I was upset after about 4 or 5 days. I'm like, jeez.
Like what? What's
but
it?
I promise you, I am taking this and it works. So I am not dealing right. And that's what Shay literally was calling me. Patrice, did you take your Medicare?
Yeah, I did.
She really did.
I did.
And so I can verify personally that it works.
Personally, yeah.
And if you want more information, there's a number on the screen with regards to it to getting the Menocare. Now, I have already dug into the fishbowl, and our fishbowl question that came from one lady is very interesting. She said, is it normal to have an on and off cycle? On and off, on and off. And she had a very interesting story.
Yes.
Please tell us about that.
This young lady, right? She said to me, she said, Shay, she was asking me what stage she was in, whether she was perimenopause or whatever. She had said that she started her menstrual cycle and then it stopped, right? And she knows she was going through menopause. The cycle stopped about 10 months. And then it started again. Her period was regular. She didn't have any heavy bleeding, but just regular cycle every month after that stopped for 10 months.
Stopping for 10
and
months.
then regular cycles for 6 months, and then it stopped again for another 10 months.
That's distressful.
And she was, of course, celebrating because at this time she started to do some research.
Yeah, and now you're thinking you're
Right.
going to that year mark to go in full menopause.
And not her case. And now her cycle has come back on, and her cycle is on today, presently as we talk. So she is definitely one of those what you call rare cases where you can have, and this happens because we are doing a show like this, and the more we dialogue, the more we share and we talk.
We're finding the stories interesting that ladies are sharing with us.
Yes, and she is not 50 yet, Patrice, but now she has a regular monthly cycle, and her cycle has been normal every month now for a year. And she's already had twice where she stopped for 10 months. So, yes, that is very, very possible. So you are technically still perimenopause.
That is discouraging.
I know, right? Especially if you don't have no more babies.
And not just that. Again, I don't know if you remember, I had my own.
Oh yeah, you had about 6 months.
Right, 6 months.
Listen to me.
And I thought, I'm on my way.
She was on her way. Yeah. But
it
to the maskets. It wasn't to the menopause.
March. And I was so discouraged because to come that far, and all you want to do at one point is just make it to 12 months and no more menstruation. That's all. And after 6 months, that's why I fell for when you told me that story. 10 months and twice.
Yeah,
it's like
twice.
It's like Lord, something is not right. That's not. It's like life is not being fair right now.
Yeah, and the thing is, Reese, research shows that it's an average of 12 months, but there have been, even though it's been a small amount, there have been some women actually 2 years before.
Yes. Yeah, I heard that as well. And sometimes the research makes me discouraged.
Yeah, because the research comes from, updated information.
Yes.
The more women that
And I think because, see, you are menopausal.
Right.
I am perimenopausal.
Yeah.
And not every woman wants to celebrate it, but I just happen to be one of those. Listen here, I can't wait to get to the point to say, I no longer need to use pads. I no
Make the
longer,
switch, girl.
I made the switch. The switch I want to make is none.
That's what I'm talking
I
about.
use my organic cotton pad. Oh, you messing with me just because you made that switch.
Yes. Make the switch.
Listen here, that is what honestly I'm looking forward to. This is the month of April. And
This is your birthday month.
yes, I will be 25.
Yes. And you know what Patrice is celebrating? Our next show is when? On the
22nd.
And Patrice's birthday is
It's
on
the
the
next
23rd.
day.
So listen, we can celebrate. Listen,
Yeah.
if y'all know anyone, and this is your first time tuning into the Menopause Dialogue, we want to say thank you. Please
Hello,
share,
everybody.
Share,
Say hi to
us. Share this video, give the information, because guess what? Next week when we come back, we have a hot and spicy topic, which I can let Patrice talk about that topic towards the end of the show for next week. Plus, we will be celebrating Patrice's birthday live streaming.
Yeah. So are we having cake?
Of course, we have
candy?
cake.
Cake and candy.
No, not candy. We can't.
You know the song said bring cake and candy.
No,
Patrice.
we can bring cake with a menocare. How about that? Cake and menocare.
I take the manicure already.
I'll give you an extra dose. How about that? You don't want you having a hot flash.
No, I already have mine. You know, if I'm gonna celebrate,
Let's celebrate. Okay, so why don't we have some?
Okay, you did sign language, you did it fast, okay? But I could do this. I just spelled my name, but I
We
didn't
haven't
say
mind. Okay, that's all I'm saying.
I wouldn't mind.
There you go. Hey,
I wouldn't mind.
It's a party. It's a party. What do you
Then
people say about
I'm going to
you
have
bring
to
it down.
pretend.
What do
Our
people say
next
about it?
question. Oh, we have, okay. You know what? Okay, let's go to this one.
Okay.
Some women are confused about perimenopause, menopause, and postmenopause.
Shay. Yeah.
Let's talk about that.
And Patrice, you know, that's why I'm glad that this is a year-long show, because if you didn't watch our show before, we talked about it. But the thing is this, we recognize that this show here is really to keep you on your toes when it comes to menopause, because there is a difference. And sometimes when you hear, I remember when we was doing the research in the beginning, the survey, we had all of those women that didn't even know what perimenopause was. Yeah.
Listen here, and that really surprised me, but I too can say the same thing.
Right.
I came into perimenopause untooled, uneducated. My mother did not pass on the information to me about her going through her stage. So when it happened,
You was just
it hit me like a ton of bricks. And that's one of the reasons why we have this show. Ladies, again, the scripture tells us that the older women
them older women.
are to. Now, I didn't say me.
I'm just saying, you know, the older women.
Older women
I'm
are to
just saying.
teach the younger. And what should not happen, and I use myself as an example.
Right.
What should not happen is perimenopause should not hit a 40-something or 40-year-old woman by surprise, because the older women in her community, in her family, in her church, around her, her mother has not told her what to expect going into a natural phase of life.
Yeah.
We talk in school. We don't learn about menopause or perimenopause. We learn about sex, education. We learn in biology a couple of things about biology. We also learn about having babies.
Right. Yeah, because they're thinking that this journey for menopause is so far ahead.
Yeah.
You might forget that information. That's what they're
But
thinking.
it is such an important part of life. And so many things that happen to women during this time can be avoided. The fear, there's so many
You can merge
things.
into it a whole lot easier.
Yes. And so our goal, once again, is to take us as sisters, taking each other by the hand and sharing information and sharing our journey.
Yes,
and so all of you who are watching, first of all, I want to say hello, and please put in the chat box who you are. Just we want to say hello and know who you are.
Say
and
hi.
one of the things is we have to, you getting this information, share this YouTube link. share it with somebody in your church group. Women are going through so much, but they are not, again, we're not educating ourselves. And so this is our tool to help educate each other. Now,
So perimenopause,
yes,
right?
yeah, because I have an issue with that. That we have to help each other.
Yeah, we have to help each other because that didn't have nothing to do with menopause. That's naturally. I'm just saying, But perimenopause is actually the beginning of the journey. So it's like pre-menopause. It's when you start to experience those symptoms like we described, the hot flashes, the night sweats, the mood swings, the heart palpitation, but you are still having the sleeplessness. You got that? I know. Skin issue, pimples, the whole 9 yards. But you are still having what we refer to as a normal menstrual cycle. But this is also the time when your cycle starts to change a little bit, and so that's when you're in perimenopause as well. You might start to skip a few cycles here and there. If it does not go longer than a year, and you have those symptoms, you are still considered perimenopause. Yes. Now, when you go to menopause is you're still experiencing the same symptoms. Of course, it's been a period of time. Now, during this time is when your menstrual cycle has stopped for at least, the research has shown for at least 12 months, a year or longer. Then you are considered menopause because you still have symptoms, but the cycle itself has stopped. Now, postmenopause is just that. This is when you have come through the entire journey. No more of the symptoms, no more menstrual cycle, then you will be considered gone through menopause and you are now post-menopause.
Also, I don't want to dampen the party, but Shay also mentioned earlier, what doctors have been finding is that, like you said, there's a 9% of women who even in the 70s have hot flashes.
And you know what that is attributed to? Trace, the fact of the matter is that both you and I have watched changing the way we eat. I've been on this journey just a little bit longer than Patrice. And so when it comes to the nutrition aspect of it, you can feel the difference. So even when you find yourself approaching post-menopause, you're menopause, and you somewhere near 65, the cycle is gone, but you're still having those triggers of hot flashes. You want to look at your environment, one, and then you want to look at your nutritional intake because that makes a huge difference. And Patrice was talking earlier, because Patrice was one of those people that she had a sleep issue, and again, due to menopause. And so supplements like magnesium, listen, we don't go.
I can swear by that.
Yeah, like magnesium, we just don't go
there.
without it,
Nutrients and nutrition, just like you said, is so essential to
Super
the body.
Yes.
And you hear conversations like this, and sometimes we tend to just glide over it or go through one ear and through the next. But nutrition is so important. Nutrition is the difference between you going through hot flashes and hot flashes easing up. Nutrition is the difference between you having severe hot flashes and not having hot flashes. Nutrition is the difference between heart palpitations, understanding what's going on, and then taking your, like you said, magnesium, and like I did, bananas. Listen here, it was so bad. I would get 3-4 o'clock in the middle of the, because I understood I needed the potassium, my heart, and I'm telling you, they worked.
Yes.
In the midst of, I would force 4 or 5 bananas, and depending on how bad the palpitations were, and they work.
And that's what you refer to, what we refer to as loading. Sometimes when you are in the middle of having a flash and you're trying to like minimize the symptoms, you have to load. And you have to do more than the recommended daily amount. And sometimes people say to me, Shay, can I take this much? Yes, you can.
Because the body is craving
the body is deficient in it, and so you can actually take that much and more. Even with the Menocure, you can actually take, it says 4 pills daily. Sometimes Patrice takes all 4 of hers. Sometimes I take 2, and then some days I skip 2, but most of the days I will take 4. When I'm doing even my men or women drops, listen to me.
I don't know.
You can actually take this.
Of this.
I don't know if we can get a close up, but we'll probably have to put
some information
some information
on the Menocare.
Yeah.
Meno men or women drops.
Yes, men or women drops. And these drops they are phytoestrogen, right? And it actually mimics estrogen in the body. And so this actually helps to minimize symptoms associated with menopause and andropause. Both men and women can take this, and the drops is very, very easy to take. You just put a drop in your mouth, you swish it around for a couple of minutes, and then you swallow. It's very easy to take. But this actually helps to balance the hormones because it mimics estrogen in the body. So it makes the body feel like, hey, I'm getting some estrogen.
I'm getting help.
I'm getting some help. And so those men or women drops are absolutely wonderful to take. That's another formula that I take. I find that with the men or women drops, I find that sometimes women that are not necessarily a menopausal age, but find themselves dealing with hormonal issues, I would recommend that too.
Okay, and that goes to our next question from the fishbowl.
Look at your comment too.
Okay, and you know, Shay has on the glasses, I don't, so, but, you know, she's trying to get our director's attention.
Comment. Never mind that, honey. But doing it.
Yes, here is a question that came in. Okay, and let me make sure I get this right. She says, my body gets extremely hot to touch at night, but I don't feel hot. I was doing some research, and I found out that it's hormone related. This, along with my graying hair, has me worried.
Okay, and because this particular young lady, she is under 30, she's 26. 26 or 27. And so, and again, I love the fact that people are doing research for truth. I love that because the thing is, you have to use whatever tools you have in order to give you the education to empower you.
To take care of yourself.
Right, to take charge of this entire journey. And she would be the perfect person because she definitely is not perimenopausal in terms of her age, you know, the average age that you start to have these symptoms. But she has hormonal related issues, and so for some reason in her body she has a hormonal decline, and so what is happening is she's starting at a young age to experience some of the symptoms that is related to perimenopause. And so she would be the person I would give the women drops to because she needs more of her hormones to be in balance.
Did she have surgery? Because I have surgery sometimes.
In her case, she didn't have surgery, but she does have a diagnosis, one of the female diagnoses, and plus she has some endocrine issues. And plus, I also talked to her about the pads that she was using because, you know, those regular pads, they're known to be endocrine disruptors. And so one of the first things I recommended her is for her doing our 100% natural organic pads. And then, of course, she's now going to start with the drops because sometimes our hormones can become imbalanced for a number of reasons outside of perimenopause, but it mimics what you will experience in terms of the menopausal symptoms.
Yes, and you know, one of the things that is so important, and you touched on it, the pads. I want to challenge every woman watching now. Don't just take our words. Do research on the pads, the normal pads that you are taking, that you are using. Ignorance, one of the things we grew up saying, is saying ignorance is bliss. But let me tell you something, what you don't know can kill you. So
and slowly.
And I call it slowly committing suicide. One of the things we are not aware of is that the pads that we are using has toxins, believe it or not. And when we have to put those pads, let me tell you, you talk about endocrine disruptors, you talk about toxins and getting into our bodies and our vagina areas. The skin is very thin.
And sensitive.
Very sensitive. And I want to stress that. If there's one thing I can stress, now I have been on natural organic paths for many years. Well, Shay has been many.
Yeah, I've been using them for at least 20 years.
And I haven't been that long, but many years. And I I remember when I recognized the difference, and I came to Shay and I was
Yeah.
telling her about it. And she's like, all excited. You know, I never have like welcome to the cloud. But I had to learn, I guess, in my own time and in my own way.
And you did.
And one of the things I was so impressed, before being impressed, I honestly got angry.
Right.
Because when I recognized the difference, first of all, I couldn't understand why when I switched to an organic 100% cotton pad, why there was such a difference with the scent. How is this possible?
With the odor.
The odor. The odor
Yes,
was
it is
different.
And let me just say right there, the difference is because when you're using 100% organic pads, right, cotton pads, it's breathable, so it works in tandem with your body's natural flow to allow the odor to release. But when you're using pads that are made from all of these recyclable, synthetic materials that are bleached so it can look and
beautiful.
Look beautiful. What happens is it's not a breathable material. It's synthetic, and all of these rayon and fiber cottons, they're known to be endocrine disruptors. They're known to be bleached. They're known to cause toxic reactions. And what happens is, because it stops the natural flow, is where the odor develops, especially over a period of years and years of using these regular sanitary napkins. Yeah, so it does, like you're right, it makes a difference.
It does. And I challenge every woman, do the research for yourself. There are, and we should have some information on on this same channel with regards to the pads, but it is for real.
For real.
Take care of yourself. I always say we have one life to live.
Yeah.
One. And I was sharing a story the other day with my daughter. And I was coming...
My big niece, I just say it.
I was coming out of the food store. And this lady, she was bent and something was going on with her. But you could see we were the same age. And something I said to her, and she said, let's switch bodies. I'd do anything to have your body and you take mine.
Anything?
And I looked, and she was saying,
be careful what you ask for.
No, but you should see what she looked like. And I remember that because she talked about the pain she was in. And I say to people, listen, it's so, as we get older, we know what happens.
Yeah.
And if you don't want to be a victim, then you have to decide intentionally, do the things. You know, we live in a society in the Bahamas, in the Caribbean, where so many people think that it's automatic. When you get a certain age, you're supposed to have high blood, cholesterol, sugar, arthritis. In fact, they say my high blood, my sugar, my pressure. Our people hold so closely onto it. No, and one of the things I am totally against too, a lot of people, our people act as though sickness is supposed to take you out.
No.
You're supposed to die sick and suffering.
I want to die sexy and fit. Did I say sexy? Just say it. I want to die fit.
I want to die
fabulous.
empty.
Empty. Okay. Miles Monroe. Oh my goodness, I miss you so much. You know, I just was all over the place just now. You know, I want to die empty, but I want to look good. I want my skin to be nice, but I want to die empty. But I want to look good. I want my skin to be nice.
So you're gonna leave the time.
I'm just saying, I want pink
and
lipstick and all that. I want them to say, "Oh, look at Shay, boy."
Even in her death, look at her skin.
What's she looking at her skin? See if she have any more left home. We're just saying. Patrice and I are big components of really. When you're going through this, when you're going through menopause, listen, and you know what? Because we're talking about it, listen, don't wait until you start to go through menopause before you take care of your skin. You should really have a skin regimen. You should have a vitamin, a nutrient regimen. Like in your 30s, early 30s, don't just have a regimen for, every Saturday I go out to buy clothes. You should have a regimen for taking care of your skin. And the physical, and the emotional, and the spiritual. You really should have a regimen for taking care of you holistically. You know what I'm saying, Patricia?
Yes, you should. Again, and that's That's what self-nurturing is all about. We as women, we have a tendency to care for everybody else. And self-nurturing, sometimes we put that on the side burner until we could get to it. Sometimes we never get to it, or we're not fair to ourselves. And then we go through life and we have some issues. I'm saying to you, if you don't plan to be sick, if you don't want to be aging prematurely, then there's some things you need to do that we've been talking about. Oiling your skin, the various serums. Again, as simple as this, and like I said, I can vouch for this. Shay gave me this, the Menocare. This works because it helps. That's it. And then again, because of our skin, you don't want to be wrinkling prematurely and you know whatnot. So do the things that it takes.
You need to do, and it takes effort. The thing is, I always said when I saw a woman that I want to look like when I reach her age, you know, sometimes if I go up to that woman and I pay her a compliment, I know right away, she doesn't even have to say it. It takes effort. It does take effort to look well because it's a holistic effort. It's not just about the topical approach, you know, it's your environment that you're in. Even when we talk about triggers, environment, you know, we talk about those non-food triggers, environment is a huge, listen, if you're around even people or environments that are stressful and you find yourself doing everything else right and your flashes are increasing or they don't seem to be minimizing, check your environment. Why is that bell going on? Okay, I'm not even going to say why it's going on. You know what? Because the producer, she did ask me before the show and say, Shay, it's going on. But I'm not going to do anything and I would just spike myself. But the truth of the matter is when it comes to environments, that does play a role. When you think about triggers for hot flashes and night sweat. And even though we talked about
breathing, we didn't even talk about breathing. As simple as
breathing and breathing properly. You know, again, breathing through ear. Because I saw someone breathing like this. It's like, no, that's not how you breathe.
That's not how you
breathe. You need to breathe in through the nostrils, the nose, and out through the mouth. And you always want to hold a second to make sure the diaphragm comes up and then release like that. That's important because breathing is a part of grounding, and all of those are techniques to help you to minimize triggers and also to help you to stay calm.
Yeah, and the muscles to relax because when our muscles tighten up like the conch, I always say the conch, right? Draw up. And when you breathe, the body literally is forced to relax. And that was one of the issues I learned. What is it? She's having a hot flash. We gotta go to a break. She is literally. Hold on, put it up. We go to the fishbowl. Fishbowl, yes. Put that fishbowl up there. She is sweating. I'm looking. Patrice, you know I love you, right? Shame face. What? See, this is real life. You better hurry up and get that phone. I think we finished with our questions. No, when I fish roll up there, you better find a question. While I get rid of this. Our next question is, what do you do on camera when you're having a hot flash? And you know what? I love it. Thank you so much, producer. She actually had to say, on her face. You know what? I'm going to deal with her after the show, and she expects to eat at my house. Let me just say this, right? I had a hot flash, but guess what? That was my first one for the day. But why I had to wait while I was so menopause? Listen here, the dialogue. I have never seen hot flashes like I see Shay hot. And I've seen Shay turn on like a faucet in front of me, and I was like, what is going on with you? I love it's real. That's what I'm saying. But you want me to tell you something? This hot flash right now, it's just did we time it? Because we just we should have timed it. We should have timed it. Patrice, if you don't stop. I mean, it's so appropriate. All menopause. Okay, so hold on. Let me compose myself. Yeah, I was. You know what? Go put that. Take them up. Let me put that up. We can show her. We ain't showing that. Thank you very much. Patrice is something else. You know, I'm gonna deal with her. Wow. Well, okay. You know what? I'm gonna deal with you, Patrice. You before we
go, we got to talk about what our next show is.
Yes.
And we also have to invite people to, to partner with us, because what we're doing is, work.
Yes. You know what? Yeah, even before I go on to what the next show is all about, we are inviting you ladies once again. Don't just join us, but share the show. But not only share the show, we're inviting you, if you have a business, if you have anything that could even help menopausal women. We're inviting you. We are taking ads. You can have your ads shown, displayed during our Menopause the Dialogue. Not only are we live, but we are up on our page, and persons go afterwards and they watch it. They come back and they talk to us about it. And just telling Sherry, we were in a market the other day and someone stopped me and was telling me about it. In fact, somebody hailed me earlier. Hi, Patrice.
So that's the lady from Menopause the Dialogue. Okay. And then one lady said to me, she said, "You don't look the same." I said, "Because I'm not having a hot flash." She said, "I don't look the same."
It is so funny, but let's join in. We're inviting you to join in with us. And if you have a business, if you have a product you would like to advertise with us, please let us know. The number's on the screen. And we are inviting you to join us on Monday, April 22nd. Guess why I remember it's 22nd?
Yeah, because your birthday is
on the next day. And we are talking about menopause and sex.
Wait, hold on. Menopause and what?
Menopause and sex.
Oh, let me sit up straight. Hold on. Say it again.
We're talking, some of us are not
about menopause
and sex.
And sex.
Yes.
So I don't know if y'all gonna be here, but Shay gonna be in the front row.
Hey.
And we'll be celebrating Patrice's birthday. Patrice is going to be 25, so she said. I don't ever live with that. 24, okay. 24. And how old my niece and nephew? Anyway, just saying. But Patrice has her birthday and we'll be celebrating, so we want you to definitely get a sister. Tell them we're going to be here next week, Monday. No, 2 months. The next Monday.
Right, we're on the 2nd and the 4th Monday of each month, and we start at exactly 6:30. Sisters, share.
Yes.
Share this information. If this information has meant anything to you, if it's helped you, then find at least 2 persons to share it with.
Yeah, we also have our Facebook page, Menopause the Dialogue. We're inviting you as well to stay updated on any information. The topics are going to be coming up. Just go ahead to our Facebook page, Menopause the Dialogue. Make sure you like and follow us on Facebook. And even if you're watching us here today and if you haven't subscribed, please take this opportunity to subscribe to our channel, so when we go on live, you will get all of your notifications. So just make sure to ring that bell so you'll have all of your future notifications.
Yes.
Patrice, this show has been great.
Yes,
I've had a hard
thank
flash.
you. That was funny.
I know, yeah, you couldn't stop laughing. Last week it was you, and it was like, we on? Now it's with me. I'm having a flash, right? Oh my goodness. Thank God for the producer.
Yeah, and listen, it's always eventful, but we are so grateful that you have decided to join us. We hope and pray that this show has been helpful to you, and we appreciate you.
Yes,
and we look forward to seeing you Monday, April 22nd, 2021, at exactly 6 p.m.
sharp. In the meantime, just remember our hashtags are hashtag you and me and hashtag sisters share. And don't forget, share this video.
God bless.
God bless you. We'll see you next
week after next.
Yeah, week after next. Yeah, she has that on lock. Bye-bye.
Your health is your wealth. Protect it. Ladies, your sanitary napkins should be 100% organic cotton, unscented and fragrance-free, unbleached and chlorine-free, free of pesticide residue, safe for you and the planet. If your sanitary napkins does not make the grade, it does not deserve to be where you place it. Make the switch.